The moment you let people trigger you, you lose your power. Learn how to stay in your feminine energy and master detachment forever, or watch them check out. Meet Ava. It was 3 a.m., and she sat by her window, staring at the city lights below. Her phone buzzed again, another text from her ex. She had asked him to stop reaching out, but it didn't matter. Every time she thought she was free from the emotional chaos he brought, he came back, pushing her buttons and testing her peace. This time, the message was different. It was a cruel reminder of everything they'd been through. She could feel her heart race, the familiar anger and sadness bubbling up again. She wanted to respond. She wanted to scream at him for everything he'd done, to make him understand how badly he'd hurt her. But then, something shifted. Ava remembered something her mentor had once said: reacting to triggers only gives them power. She put the phone down, hands trembling. The emotional tug-of-war was real. She could feel herself wanting to spiral back into that familiar pattern of frustration, guilt, and helplessness. Her mind raced. How could he still affect her like this? Why did she care so much? She sat in silence, the weight of the pain pressing against her chest. She could almost hear her own thoughts screaming at her to break free from this toxic cycle. A few minutes passed. She closed her eyes and took a deep breath. Slowly, the anger started to fade, but the hurt still lingered. Ava realized something crucial: this moment was her choice. She could stay in this emotional chaos, or she could rise above it, choose peace, choose detachment, choose to stay in her feminine energy no matter what. Ava took a deep breath, her body slowly relaxing. It wasn't easy, but she made a decision that night: she wasn't going to let him or anyone else steal her peace anymore. This was her turning point. Radiant Rebels, Ava's story is one we can all relate to. We've all been triggered by people, situations, or emotions that seem to pull us out of our flow. But what if, instead of reacting, we learned how to stay centered and powerful, no matter what life throws our way? In this video, we're going to dive into how you can stay in your feminine energy, no matter who or what tries to trigger you. Stay with me, because you're about to learn how to master detachment and take control of your emotional world like never before. Understanding feminine energy and detachment. Feminine energy is all about embracing your inner calm, intuition, and strength. It's the quiet confidence that radiates from within, regardless of what's happening around you. Feminine energy is not about being passive or weak, it's about staying grounded and in tune with yourself, even when the world is chaotic. It's the grace that allows you to face challenges head-on while maintaining your composure. Detachment is a crucial part of this. It's about releasing emotional attachments to things, people, and outcomes that drain you. When you let go of the need to control, you open up space for peace, balance, and clarity. Detachment doesn't mean being cold or indifferent. It simply means not allowing external circumstances to dictate your emotions. By practicing detachment, you can stay rooted in your feminine energy, no matter what life throws your way. You respond instead of reacting, and that's where your power lies. When you're centered, nothing and no one can knock you off course. Common triggers and how they disrupt your energy. We've all been there, feeling triggered by someone's judgment, harsh criticism, or being made to feel undervalued. These moments can throw you off, making it hard to stay in your feminine energy. It's easy to react emotionally, to feel hurt, or to want to prove a point. But here's the thing, when you react from that emotional place, you lose your energy. You're giving away your power. Judgment from others can be especially difficult. It often comes unexpectedly, and before you know it, you're spiraling into a negative headspace. But imagine if, instead of reacting to someone's judgment, you simply observed it. When you detach from the need to defend yourself or justify your actions, you take back your power. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You can just be. Feeling undervalued or criticized can also trigger a need for validation. But relying on external validation will always keep you in a constant state of needing approval. When you let go of that need, you stop giving your energy away. You become your own source of validation. Radiant Rebels, it's time to start reframing these situations. When someone criticizes you, don't internalize it. Instead of letting it affect your mood, take a step back and observe. Recognize that their opinion doesn't define your worth. You can choose to stay calm, collected, and in your energy, no matter how others behave. If you found this information helpful, make sure to like this video and share it with someone who needs to hear this today. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips on how to stay in your feminine energy. Mastering detachment for emotional freedom. Mastering detachment is not about avoiding emotions, it's about feeling your feelings without letting them control you. It's about creating space between an emotional trigger and your reaction. This gives you the freedom to choose your response. The first step in mastering detachment is recognizing when you're being triggered. Maybe someone says something that rubs you the wrong way, or a situation doesn't go as planned. Instead of immediately reacting, take a deep breath and give yourself a moment to reflect. Ask yourself, how do I want to feel in this moment? What will help me stay in my feminine energy? This pause gives you control. Another important part of detachment is understanding that you don't need everyone's approval or validation. You are enough just as you are, and your worth doesn't depend on others' opinions. When you stop seeking external validation, you allow yourself to be free. You no longer rely on others to maintain your sense of self-worth, and that is incredibly empowering. When you practice detachment, you begin to create boundaries around your energy. You teach others how to treat you by showing up as your true, authentic self, without needing anyone's approval. If you're ready to take back control of your emotional energy and start mastering detachment, make sure to hit that subscribe button and share this video with your fellow Radiant Rebels. You deserve to live in your full power. The power of silence and space. In the rush of life, silence often feels like a luxury, especially when you're faced with tension or conflict. But here's the secret. Silence is one of the most powerful tools you can use to stay grounded in your feminine energy. It's not about avoiding the situation or ignoring your feelings. It's about creating space for yourself to process and respond thoughtfully, instead of reacting impulsively. When you're triggered, the urge to react immediately can feel overwhelming. But taking a moment of silence allows you to reset, breathe, and regain control over your emotional response. Instead of letting the heat of the moment dictate your behavior, you're able to decide how you want to show up. This simple pause gives you the power to act from a place of inner strength rather than emotional chaos. Giving space to a situation also gives you time to reflect on whether it's even worth your energy. Not everything requires a response, and often, silence can speak louder than any words. By taking a step back, you demonstrate the power of self-control and emotional maturity. Practice makes perfect. Start small. The key to mastering detachment is consistency. It's not about suddenly becoming perfect at it, it's about small, everyday choices that build up over time. Every time you feel triggered, you have the opportunity to practice detachment. This doesn't mean bottling up your feelings, it simply means recognizing when emotions are rising and choosing to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting immediately. Your challenge this week, Radiant Rebels: when you feel triggered, stop and take a deep breath before responding. Give yourself a moment to process what you're feeling. Ask yourself, how can I respond from a place of power and calm? This small practice of pausing before reacting will help you stay in your feminine energy and protect your emotional well-being. Every time you practice detachment in these small moments, you'll notice more control and consistency. Over time, it becomes second nature, and you'll start navigating even the most difficult situations with grace and poise. Feminine energy isn't just a response to what's happening around you, it's a way of living. It's about staying grounded in who you are, regardless of what others do or say. When you master detachment and stay in your energy, you're choosing peace over chaos, strength over reaction, and grace over drama. Trust in your feminine power, Radiant Rebels. You have the ability to navigate any challenge with poise and confidence. When you practice detachment, you're not just protecting your peace, you're embodying the powerful, magnetic energy that others are drawn to. If you found this video helpful, give it a like and share your own experiences with detachment in the comments. How have you managed to stay in your feminine energy during tough situations? Let's continue this conversation, and don't forget to subscribe for more empowering content.